Andy, you're a specialist, and some of you may have seen you before here. We talked in a few conferences about that, and we also produced a few videos for Venice Meets World. It's the Arena Theater last year in Zurich, and cinema, it's something where most people think, oh God, you know, cinema, we're very difficult business. Very sexy for many, but very difficult. I mean, they have recently some really, you know, successful movies, like the Maverick, I think it was quite successful, but otherwise the past 2 years were very difficult. But signage in cinemas, it's business critical. And let us know, what's so critical about it? Why do you need screens in a cinema?
Okay, I mean, we do digital signage, but it's not only digital signage. As you know, we have some fancy screens showing some content. We're also controlling the whole ecosystem within the whole cinema technology in the background, so controlling projector and all that. That's why I'm saying it's really business critical. Why do we need screens? You saw it in the clip before, so you want to tell the people what show is going on, how many seats do you have left. It's also, or like you see here in the image, trailer, upcoming movies. So you have to promote it. Without screen, you have nothing to show what kind of movies people are watching. It's not only Instagram and Facebook and all these things. The people want to see it. They want to see what's going on in the theaters. And this is why we, the cinema, spend quite a lot of money in installing screens. So we have between 20 and 150 screens per cinema installed. So this is why the people installing the screens, because it's information, it's upcoming movies, it's selling products like you see here in ice cream. And it's really working. So if you have screens, you're selling between 15 and 20% more content, food, whatever. Yeah. And we also were using, and this is something we, actually the only country in the world doing it, we're also using the silver screen as digital signage, because at the end it's just a big screen. It's just a projected, showing some content. And nobody really does that normally.
And I think it's important to understand how the business model of cinemas work. The cinema owner, the cinema operator, makes their most money with F&B, right? They need to sell popcorn and Coke. The movies, it's just it's like a gas station, right? It's not much fun for them.
Yeah, it's exactly. I'll give you an example. Maverick, in the first 2 to 3 weeks, the distributor gets 50% of the revenue. That means if a ticket is 20 euros, 10 euros goes to the cinema and 10 euros goes to the distributor. So how you want to finance your whole ecosystem, how you want to finance building new cinemas. Like you see this one, this is a new cinema, was opening a year ago, cost you millions. A projector or Onyx, what you want to talk about, is cost 1 million. So how you want to refinance it, how you want to pay your staff. So you need additional revenue models, and the revenue models is screens. As an example, in Germany, the cinema are selling the screen space. It's like advertising in advertising. So the cinema itself selling the screen space to distributor, to advertising agencies, whatever, to make additional revenue, to pay the rent, and hopefully.
Yeah. And I learned a lot about cinemas. You thought, you know, there's only a screen or so, but there's 3D cinemas, there's 4D cinemas, 5D, everything. It's unbelievable. It's all about experience, right? I mean, that's how they differentiate themselves.
Yeah, it's a big thing is about experience, and there's a big difference if you go to Switzerland to cinemas like this one. It's a good example. I don't know if you see it. There's a bed cinema, so it's in reality it's a bed. So you're lying in beds and watching movies, and it's all about experience. Or 4DX, what you just talked about it. This is moving chairs, moving around, and all that. We're the only one in Switzerland. Germany has 1 or 2, I guess. So it's almost nothing. So, or IMAX. We have more IMAXs in Switzerland than you have in Germany. So why is that? The people want to watch, they want to have experience, they don't want to watch a movie at home. So not like at home, they want to go to see it in big screens, special experiences, and socializing. And the part of it is also the screens that you have, because the people say, oh, I want to see this movie, I want to see this movie, I want to see this movie. Also in addition, in terms of cinema is dead, and Netflix and Disney Plus and all that, a lot of streamer, how we call it, they use the cinema as advertising platform at the end, because they use trailers. We have trailers on the screens, we have trailers online, and the people after like the window of 45 days, they put the movies on streaming. And the people remember, oh, I saw it in the cinema, I saw it on the silver screen, I saw the advertising on the display. This movie must be good because it was in cinema.
But before we dive deeper into what you do in the cinema, we should talk about cinema technology. Many of you remember 4, 5, 6 years ago, everyone thought LED is the future, right? They all thought, all the cinemas will be LED. You can put windows in there, and everything would be great. And currently nobody's talking about LED anymore. LED in cinemas is basically dead. What is the reason behind that?
Price. Ecosystem.
Weight.
Complexity. You have to know that first we go to the price level. So why I'm in this? I mean, Samsung is calling me the mother of cinema LED. We installed the first cinema LED in the world. It was in Switzerland at the Arena Cinemas. And there's a lot of hassle. It's a lot about price. It's a lot of problems because you just cannot put up a projector and do any kind of size of images. This has all to be approved by the Hollywood organization, DCI so-called. So every single piece has to be approved. It's also encrypted. So it's an LED wall. You just can do rear access because they're afraid that somebody can stick some electronic device in and copy the movie out of the LED wall. I don't know, but this is the issues. And the problem is that also price-wise. Just give you a little example. For a LED wall like Onyx or anybody else, we don't know the price of the Chinese now, so you have to calculate about 900,000 to 1 million for a 10-meter LED screen. So if you do the compare to a classical projector, kind of a similar quality of the image, you're ending up with like 60,000, 80,000. So let's say 100,000 versus 1 million. Who's going to do that those days? Not really. And there are like Onyx, Samsung was the first one, but it's just too early. It's sad. It's the best quality. I love it. But you also have issues with the studios because there you get into the whole topic of HDR. You have problems with IMAX or Dolby Vision, and with HDR you're better than Dolby Vision. Then those studios don't want that. They're bigger than Samsung or whatever. Yeah.
But Andy, it's a great example because it's not about technology, but it's about the process of the industry. The industry wasn't ready to support it. And you mentioned the one movie they weren't allowed to show on LED because the black was too black.
It was Star Wars from Disney.
Was Star Wars, yeah.
It was Star Wars.
So because they did it for projection, and obviously, the colors should look great on projection, but on LED, the black was too black. So they didn't allow to show it on an LED screen, which is insane. So it's not about technology, obviously, but it's about how the whole industry is managed and organized.
Yeah, well, we had the same thing in the first few months. Disney did not allow us to bring movies on the LED wall because they were afraid there was something with blue LEDs. If you look at the blue LEDs for, 5 days, then you can go blind or whatever. So the people were afraid, we get sued because it's a new technology. People look at the screen and then we get sued because somebody was watching a movie on the LED wall.
Andy, you're in Switzerland, and Switzerland is probably the most complicated market in the cinema business for content. And please, this number is correct, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's more than 100 different versions of one movie. You have 4 languages, right? Different subtitles, original. It's unbelievable in one country.
We actually just get the calculation, the data out of it for Avatar, the Avatar 2 movie that's going to be out. So we're going to probably end up, if Disney really going to come out with that, it's also a content management issue, we're going to end up with about 140 different versions.
In one country? In
one country, and we're small. And you have to understand, it's every version got their own DCP or own files. Now the issue starts if space. If you talk about this high frame rate version that Cameron want to do, and it's really insane. I saw the first 10 minutes of the movie in 3D. The movie going to be probably 4 terabytes, one version. And how we want to handle it in the cinema, and in the cinema that we're going to have a quick look in it, like Arena, they have 18 auditoriums, and we have a regular version. We have about 65 different movie versions per cinema per week. And this is how we have to handle it. So it's not only handling the content, this is one thing, it's handling the data to it. It's how do we announce it? How do we proper do the displaying the content? How do we proper displaying the languages? We have the language issue. Give you an example is James Bond. In Germany, James Bond was shown as No Time to Die, Keine Zeit zu sterben. In Switzerland, the German version was called No Time to Die. So, and then the English version is also No Time to Die. So you have people going to the box office and say, I want a ticket for No Time to Die. which version do they want to buy now? Is it now the German version or is it the English version? And this is then the signage. This is the most important thing is we're using the language, the artworks, because every language version got its own artwork too. It's different. It can be different the same movie, totally different artworks. It's also how to position the movie, the studios. So the signage system must be able to navigate the customer to the right point to show what they want to see and to give them the ideas or different languages. As we started about 9 years ago with our system, we even went to the way that we used the original language. So, which gave me a problem in the box office. There was a title in Japanese because the movie original language is Japanese. I said, okay, cool. Just original people go and watch the original version. So a Japanese woman went in front of the box office and said something in Japanese, and the people were sitting there saying, what the hell is she asking for? So we had to then go learn that, and it's an interesting part. We're doing also Arabic in mixed. So we're doing Pathé is one of the largest cinema chains in Europe. So we're doing Switzerland and the whole Africa, and in Africa it's Arabic. So it's an additional problem with Arabic, left aligned, right aligned. Certain time you can show certain content, certain time you cannot show the content because of their
religious reasons or cultural reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is just insane.
Yeah, but we have only 4.5 minutes left. So let's have a look inside the live system. Show us what's happening currently at 3:30 in Arena Cinemas in Zurich, right?
This is our CMS. So I'm quite often here and never saw somebody really having a direct access to the CMS. We just see some fancy presentations. So I give you a real live. So this is our CMS and we are live. So the first thing I'm going to do is I show you, we have a look into auditoriums. Auditoriums, this is now 18 auditoriums of Arena Cinemas. This is live. So we have a delay of 30 milliseconds throughout the whole ecosystem. So whatever happens in Zurich or whatever I'm doing here, 30 milliseconds later it's happen. So we are live. So if I going to restart the player means no more show on the auditorium. And it means cash out the shows. This is, the whole cinema industry is super complex in terms of back end of DCP and projection and whatever. So what we do is we mix it in MPEG-4. So we don't use it, we use the silver screen as advertising space. So we announce to people if they enter the auditorium, hey, this movie is going to be playing, or if they're going to do an auditorium move through the data we have, we say, hey, if you wanted to watch this movie, but it's now in this auditorium, please move go to the other auditorium. So this is live, as I said, so we can directly just click on a show, and then I see physically what's happening on the playlist. What's the difference is we don't have just classical JPEGs, PNGs or whatever. We also have a DCP that's a mixed ecosystem. So these are like all DCPs from Werbeweischer. This is an advertising agency, which we then merge automatically to MPEG. We do quality check. So very often it happens that we have clips with audio. It should be audio, but there's no audio on it, so we can show that in the auditorium with audio settings. So this is all that. So what we're gonna see here, you see how fast we are. Let's see, auditorium. Okay, we hear in the intermission, that's this orange thing is intermission, this auditorium 2. So we just quickly go to auditorium. I don't know how to, it's okay. These are now the live view, what you said, from all auditoriums. So I can have a look what's really playing. So I click and here's a live view. So I see exactly what's playing at this millisecond on the screens. So you see also the staggering of the images. So we have multi-screen, single screen, whatever. And we were in auditorium 2. So we go here, I just quickly on it, and I do a live screenshot. So what we do now, we do a live screenshot of this millisecond of the player, what is physically playing out on the silver screen. And you see here, we have here automatically the resolution. So our system automatically detects what kind of resolution is on it. This is for me also important. If the cinema is changing the projector, I don't want to go and change the settings. That should be the system doing. So the system is doing everything automatically. So if I click on it, I see the live view. I see now the pause, 11 minutes and 20 seconds. I see the artwork, I see the language, I see everything. So the people in the auditorium exactly know how long they can go and get the food. What we also do with the signage system, we are interacting with the with the POS. That means if we just have like 50 people or 25% of the auditorium is filled, we automatically make the intermission smaller. It's no more that long. So we fully automate all that.
Fascinating, huh?
So this is really live. Yeah. We also control the whole ecosystem in the cinema itself.
So it's not only the lobby screens, it's the F&B screens, it's the advertisement, it's everything, the whole digital asset. And you said they have 150 screens in the lobby alone, right?
Yeah. And so this is like also the movie planning. So to know what movie is going to be playing, because this is also a problem there, especially in the COVID time, a lot of moving around. So physically what the cinema does only, they just go and click. So if I click, I just go to demo mode, because my dev guys did a demo mode just for me, because I'm clicking the whole time and it's going live. So I'm in a demo mode because they're really doing it. So I click here. They have 3 language areas. I go and say, okay, I don't know, just take a movie, doesn't matter which one. I take this movie, and then I'm going to say, I'm going to play it in Zurich, in Basel, in Zurich, I'm going to play it in 40X, and here I'm going to play it in Screen X. And now it's playing the content on all lobby screens. It goes to the website, because we're controlling also the whole ecosystem with the website, and social media.
The point of sale system too, right?
Point of sales,
so
touch
this is
screens.
The point of sale system. So tickets are sold based on this system.
Touch screens, silver screen advertising, everything runs fully automated through that. Even if the new trailer is coming in, because we have a lot of trailers. Just give you an example, an average large movie like Top Gun or Thor or this kind of movies, Marvel movies, we get approximately 10 different, in the life cycle of 1.5 years, 10 different trailer versions per language area. So we handle a lot of trailers too. So it automatically changes, and we change the content to the screen. If a new trailer is coming in, we're doing also the whole topic of age. Because if you have a 50 Shades of Grey as an example, you don't want that showing on Wednesday afternoon in the cinema, so you don't want to have complication. Or you're saying, it's cinema saying, oh, we want during the weekend, we just want to have kids movies promoted. Then we have a rating system internally. You just add it once, and then it runs throughout whole Switzerland. It is not only for one cinema. We're controlling with our system 65 or 70% of the whole Swiss market.
And this is business critical, period.
Period. If this doesn't work, then there's no show, then the silver screen is not running, so no movie, and you have to cash out the show.
Okay.
And luckily, I hope there are going to be a lot of viewers back in the cinema, so
you have to go back to the cinema. But somebody has to can change the program now, right? And ruin your whole business or your customer's business.
This is really, I mean, it's really happening, because I'm click and I'm putting content on and back and whatever, and as we are live, and the content is also upload. So if I do an upload the content, tag it, and we do a simple tagging, because it's also our cinema owners, they're sometimes just too stupid that they even don't know, the marketing guys, they even don't know what kind of systems they have in what location. So we had the case with a cinema, they put up an advertising for IMAX movie in Bern. But they don't have an IMAX in Bern. They have the competitor had an IMAX in Bern. So in this cinema, in the one location, they did advertising for IMAX presentation for total other cinema chain. And because you have all those different versions and possibilities, Atmos, 4DX, ScreenX, Mega, whatever, so the people don't know that. So you simply have a label thing implemented. You just say, this movie goes to IMAX, boom, and the rest is done fully automated.
The reality is too complicated, so you have to make it easier to manage, right?
Yes.
Good. Well, fantastic. It was really, really exciting to get some insights about the live system. And you will be here today and tomorrow, so if you have any questions or so. I've seen it in live on site, and it's unbelievable how active that is. And
it's even just quickly, sorry. We have this is like this content. What you see here is those are unplugged screens. Because they're rebuilding something. Then we have here the weekly. The weekly is a data source generated. You just can click on it, and then you want to see what's playing, and then you get an idea what kind of content we're playing there. Also how complex, because it's a nice view. Okay, it's the other way around. So this is, we need for the cinema, we need for 1 week, we need 4 screens. They're filled like that. If it makes sense or not, don't ask me. But you see here
different versions of Minions.
Versions.
Right? Yeah.
You just see even Minions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 8 different versions in Minions playing in this one single location. And then one is 4DX, ScreenX, multiple languages, 3D, not 3D. Then we have Onyx, which is the LED. So the cinema wants that promoted Onyx that it's LED, so it's get a better view. So yeah, this is how we live, and it's quite complex in Switzerland because we have 4 language areas.
Yeah,
and the most important thing is they don't start the same date. So we have in the French part, the movie starts on Wednesday normally, in the German-speaking part on Thursday, Italian-speaking part Friday or Thursday, and even not the same week. So it can happen that Thor was running like 2 weeks before in the Italian part. So it's throughout the whole ecosystem, doing advertising for websites, for ad screens. It's really complicated.
And you thought your customers are complicated. Any question? Last question here.
Can you tell us about a problem, like the biggest problem you had in life? There should be one.
The biggest problem is that, I mean, first of all, we built a whole ecosystem. It's all with us. It's also our own player, everything. And the biggest problem is stability at the end. We did until now 2.5 million shows. We didn't partake on just on the silver screen with advertising and everything. It's highly complex because there we're doing audio. We do 5.1, 7.1. We do mute. We're doing the whole audio. And this is the most important critical part is stability. And as I said, we have. Honestly, I mean, he knows that I'm not lying. We have nobody in support. The system is just running. We have no failures, nothing across the globe, because we are really business critical. And this is why the people are coming in. And the biggest challenge is the people coming and saying, oh, can you do that? Can you do that? Can you do that for us? Because nobody's really able to do it, and we have the ecosystem. We build the ecosystem like that. And it's also for the creativity, like the whole creative part. We're producing all the creative content. So if you see here something about Spider-Man advertising, like the animated artworks, we produce that. We produce a lot of stuff for Sony Pictures and Paramount globally. We are the creative agency of Universal. And the biggest challenge is the cinema, the distributor saying, oh, you can do that. Can you do that? We want that in this cinema. And then you have cinemas that don't run on our system, and then they're pissed because they can't do it because the other doing. And the other one getting money. So the people with our system getting more money because they can do lobby domination and all this kind of stuff.
It's fascinating, Andy. It's funny. I think you could talk for hours, and he's still here. You could ask some questions. It's really cool. You use your own players. It's a Linux system, and because you manage the whole ecosystem. But it's fascinating to see how a relatively small player like you can be such a specialist in the niche. In Switzerland, it's anyway a small country, but then being in the niche of cinema. But it's fascinating, and this is really for me a great example of digital signage business critical.
Thank you,
Andy. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot also for the content you did for our show. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.